touch, the ability to connect human to human. Well, it turns out there are two major categories: me touching you and you touching me. But then within that, there are different kinds of touch. There's still deep pressure, there's light moving touch, there's different temperatures, different textures of touch, touching different parts of the body. And when we're talking about dementia, it's important to remember that the brain up here is changing. And my reaction to touch may be extreme, it may be surprising, or my need for touch may be surprising or extreme. So it's really vital that we, in a care support mode, recognize, okay, touch. Who's seeking it for what reason? We often, in our role as care support, want to offer touch in the venue of offering care. But the person who's living with dementia may misinterpret our touch as an attack, as an invasion, as something that shouldn't be done to another human being, because they can't quite get why we're doing what we're doing to the parts of the body that we're doing it to. Or they may enjoy touching, but not being touched. So recognizing how I was before might be how I am now, but I may change. Now that I'm not limited by the expectations of society, I may find that touching is something I really enjoy. If that's the case, we want to be tuned into the idea that this touching business, touching out, reaching out, may not be about an inappropriate touch, but just the desire to be connected. So when we're thinking about using touch, we want to get permission. Touching with permission is always a lot safer than assuming that I have the right to offer you care and give you touch. So I want to give you a visual cue and then offer my hand, because touching hand to hand can be a great way to determine how's the person doing with the touch. If they won't take my hand, I would say probably giving more intimate support or touch is going to be frowned upon in that moment. I'll need to work on building a relationship so that that's something they are comfortable with. On the other hand, if someone really seeks touch, offering my hand and getting in a supportive position can make all the difference in the world when it comes to my comfort. Because this is a two-way street. It turns out all human beings have a reaction to being touched and to touching. And what we want to do in the role that we have is to respect whatever it is, but build as much as we can. Because it turns out that humans who are living with dementia are eventually going to need our very intimate touch as part of care. Now, you may choose not to be the person to do that care and that intimate touch, but someone's going to be called upon to provide that. And we've got to build the relationship from one of total independence and dislike for touch into tolerance, or we're going to run into challenges. So we're going to be working on techniques as we move forward that will give you that opportunity to figure out, where is the person you're trying to support? Where are you? And if it isn't a good match for you, understood, we've got to figure out who is going to be a good match for that individual. Who's going to make them comfortable enough that they will allow the touch that is needed for the care that is needed? And who's not going to be allowed into the inner circle, the inner touch? And how do we keep ourselves in a safe space so that we're comfortable with the care we're offering and the relationship we have? Touch is vital. It's part of being human. But we also want to recognize different people have different tolerances and different needs. Do you know what yours is? And do you know what the person you're supporting needs and likes and won't tolerate? And what about the other people in the care circle? Are we all on the same page, or are we looking at this very differently? And are we giving mixed messages, or are we coming together and providing the support that is needed? Somebody needs to take a look and figure it out, because otherwise we might be blaming the person living with dementia when in fact we're giving some not clear messages about touch.